In a recent video, we looked at how the Force Ghost of Obi-Wan confronted Vader not long after the Battle of Yavin, speaking to the Sith Lord in the captain's quarters of his Corvette. During this first encounter between Vader and Obi-Wan after the events of A New Hope, Obi-Wan taunted his former apprentice, not just calling him by his former name of Anakin, but also noting how his former apprentice's feelings betrayed him in relation to his son Luke. But even better in my opinion is a vision that Vader would have not long after hearing the voice of his former master, where Vader was powerless against the Force Ghost. In this video expose, we'll look at Vader's vision of dueling Obi-Wan a second time on the Death Star, replaying the events of their first duel with the knowledge of Luke Skywalker's true identity. Just as they did in Episode 4, Vader and Obi-Wan would confront each other in the hallways of the Death Star, with both of their lightsabers ignited and Vader quickly closing the distance between them. Picking up exactly where they left off on the Corvette, Obi-Wan again practically started trolling his former apprentice, telling him that he was troubled. But this time, Vader was far more prepared for the insults of Obi-Wan, simply telling him that killing him was his victory, a testament to Vader surpassing his master. Obi-Wan tried to brush away Vader's victory by asking why it was then that he was present before him. But Vader's vision had a far greater purpose than Obi-Wan. He wasn't there for the Jedi Master, but for the boy he now suspected was his son, knowing the rebel's name was Skywalker and had been strong enough in the Force to destroy the Death Star. At this point, Obi-Wan attempted to replay the events of their first duel on the Death Star, lifting his lightsaber in front of him and imploring Vader to strike him down. Only again, Vader wasn't merely there to amuse himself with Obi-Wan's demise. He wanted to find out what he could about the boy. So instead of striking Obi-Wan down, he turned away from the Jedi and towards Luke, ultimately standing before each other exchanging glances. The rest of the scene would play out as it did in Episode 4, with stormtroopers trying to prevent the Millennium Falcon's escape but failing, leaving Vader watching as the starship exited the battle station. Obi-Wan would then go back to his taunting of Vader, just like he tortured the Sith Lord earlier upon the Corvette, asking Vader if he was troubled and conflicted, and again referring to him as Anakin. Vader would turn from the docking bay and rejoin Obi-Wan, telling his former master that there was no Anakin Skywalker, and unlike Vader's loss of control previously during his confrontation with the Force Ghost of Obi-Wan, the Sith Lord wouldn't be provoked again. But Obi-Wan's trolling didn't end there, replying, "If you say so, Darth." We've mentioned it in previous videos, but Legends novels like Death Star show that Obi-Wan used the title of Darth as an insult against Vader. So again, Obi-Wan is insulting the Sith Lord here. After Vader again tried to convince Obi-Wan that Anakin Skywalker was dead, he again referenced back to Obi-Wan's previous words, where the Force Ghost told Vader there was another Skywalker. Vader was now certain Obi-Wan meant the boy, and thanks to the vision, Vader now knew not just that his last name was Skywalker, but that his first name was Luke. Although Obi-Wan would raise his lightsaber in an offensive stance, his greater weapon was his warning, telling Vader to be careful, as again his emotions were a danger to him, and Luke was already victorious against him in the Death Star trenches. But Vader responded that he too had once been victorious against Obi-Wan, and as he declared that he would ultimately succeed in the end, he motioned just as he did in his first duel with Obi-Wan on the Death Star, sending his lightsaber through his former master. As Vader was taken out of his vision by an announcement from Ensign Nanda, letting Vader know that they arrived at Alderaan, the scene ends. Out of all the recent videos we've done looking at Vader's inner thoughts during and after the Obi-Wan duel in Episode 4, and even considering Obi-Wan's Force Ghost confronting Vader, this one is my absolute favorite. Not only does it show that the confrontation between the former master and apprentice in Episode 4 left a significant impact on Vader, where the events of the duel would be revisited, thereby increasing its importance, but this scene perfectly foreshadows how Luke would in the end be Vader's downfall, his own emotions again influencing his actions, but this time for good. So there we have it, Vader's vision of dueling Obi-Wan on the Death Star a second time. We love making these videos, so why not subscribe for more fun Star Wars theories and discussions. Also, if you enjoyed the video, think about giving a like or leaving a comment. Or perhaps follow us on Twitter at SW Reading Club for updates regarding the channel. Or support the channel through Patreon for access to exclusive rewards and discussions. If not for me... For Ensign Nanda.